Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. We've got Bitcoin up here on the daily, guys, trading right now 22,800, almost 22,009. We're continuing to see this grind to the upside, so this is looking quite positive for crypto at this moment in time, although, I'm still thinking it's a little too early to call it. On the micro trend, we are making higher highs, of course, higher lows. I'm not going to jinx that one, but these ones are higher lows. I'm hoping we are going to stay above this level here. Of course, if we go below this level, that would mean that the trend would be broken. Same thing is true, guys, for XRP. Coming out of that funk, making higher highs and higher lows on that grind upward. Right now, XRP is trading at 37 cents. Algorand is another coin, guys, that I've been following as of late. And as you guys can see here, Algorand, the trend isn't looking as prominent, but we know that all altcoins generally tend to follow the trend, whether it happens right away, whether it's following Bitcoin in tandem, or if it's a laggard, if it tends to lag behind. So right now, Algorand's trading at about 0.326, and it is down roughly 88.5%. So you guys can see that there from its all-time high, or rather not its all-time high, but from that localized high back in November of 2021 when Bitcoin topped. So I've been talking about this for a while, looking to get into a larger Algorand position, my XRP position. My bags are packed. Bitcoin, I'm also quite happy with my Bitcoin position. So, right now it is my altcoins. We have been seeing the fear and greed index rise as well. So right now it's at a 31, a value of 31. Last week we were at 26, and last month, guys, we were at 11. So it is slowly rising, as you guys can see. It generally tends to follow whatever the crypto market is doing. This is the total market cap, including Bitcoin. So all cryptos, including Bitcoin. I also saw this from Cointelegraph, perhaps another sign that we are slowly moving our way into a bull market. Tether supply starts to increase after 3 months of decline. So Tether printers have been firing up again as USDT circulating supply has started to tick up. The world's largest stablecoin, Tether, has expanded its circulating supply following almost 3 months of reductions in what could be a sign that the crypto markets are slowly recovering. The first mint in almost 3 months occurred on Friday, and there have been 3 more, with the latest on Tuesday. According to CoinMarketCap, the USDT injections have been small, however, lifting Tether's market cap by just 0.7%, or just under $500 million. Generally speaking, they need new Tether or new stable coins of any sort to be able to support the crypto liquidity that comes into the market during bull runs. So, generally what we see is we see stablecoins be printed as a bull market is kicking off, or well into a bull market. We tend to see a lot more printing. And so, just another indication of where we could potentially see this market going. Another coin that I like to talk about on this channel sometimes is VeChain, and VeChain is in a similar boat. If you just take a look at the trend moving upward, we are seeing higher highs, higher lows being printed on the chart, and VeChain trading just over 2.5 cents, so 0.026. And if we were to just kind of take it from the top of where we saw a high for VeChain, VeChain's down actually 90.5%, so down even more so than Algorand, and Algorand, I would say, out of the coins that I'm interested in, has corrected the most. So I'm looking to maximize profit potential, perhaps going to allocate some of my funds to VeChain as well. I will let you guys know. Speaking of VeChain, Michael Branch also just brought this up with regards to their plans for the future. So VeChain, they have partnered up with UFC. I talked about it in a video I did a few months ago, but now they're disclosing how they plan to change the world. Sunny Liu, the CEO of VeChain, has given tips on how the popular blockchain project is planning to use its technology to change the world. According to Liu, VeChain is already making a significant impact globally, as its tech has been deployed in various sectors, including supply chain, carbon management, decentralized finance, etc. However, he noted that VeChain's impact on the world in the future will be more significant than what the company has done in the past. So here's what he was saying. He said VeChain would create an incentivized ecosystem in San Marino. This would see residents based in San Marino rewarded with tokens for maintaining positive environmental behavior. The tokens can be exchanged for fiat and will be used in the purchase of goods and services. Notably, the project is part of San Marino's 2030 UN Sustainable Development Goal. He said VeChain would deploy its technology for carbon recording in the future. With this in place, Liu noted that there would be a more effective carbon market in the coming years. So, again, with the Sustainable 2030 agenda, UN Sustainable Development Goals, all these companies working together to kind of push forth that WEF narrative. So it sounds like VeChain, another company that is on board with that. Michael Branch also posting this, Warren Buffett-backed Nubank, which is also a Ripple-enabled bank, has hit 1 million crypto users in less than a month. So we're also seeing a lot of these new banks just recently getting into cryptocurrency. We're seeing them hit new milestones. In this case, this is a Brazilian challenger bank, Nubank. They just announced hitting 1 million cryptocurrency users in the country barely a month after launching the service. Nubank CEO and founder David Velez confirmed the milestone, noting they expected to hit the target in a year considering the ongoing crypto winter. And this was reported on August the 1st, which was just yesterday. We are super impressed with the speed. It was a goal for a year of operation, and we reached it in 3 weeks. So also, just kind of pointing out the fact that the crypto market is likely not going to cool down anymore. It is likely heating up. And so, if you can find deals like VeChain 90%, 90.5% off its all-time high, or like Algorand, again, 88% off that localized high. Very, very good buying opportunities to get into some of these cryptocurrencies. We are starting to see that upswing. Again, this is not financial advice, just letting you know where my mind is. And with all the news coming out, I'm wondering if this is going to have an impact on financial markets, on global markets, and I think more importantly, on the WEF agenda. Bitcoin, guys, is now an ISO 20022 token. So there was some big news out yesterday from Impel. Today, Genfinity.io and Sentosumo Saba, who is Crypto Eddie, broke the news to the entire world that people can now use wrapped Bitcoin on the XDC network as collateral in Impel's ISO 20022 API for payment and instant settlement. So yes, Bitcoin is now an ISO 20022 compliant cryptocurrency. Things that kind of get you wondering, things that make me go, as a matter of fact, because why would they allow us to have this? So Crypto Popo down here saying you can wrap a turd in a lettuce leaf, but it doesn't make it a vegetable now, does it? Mark Varabian saying so much going on with XFin. Let this bear market play out and fasten your seatbelts, Eddie. If I haven't before, let me say thanks for your constant effort, info, outlook, and attitude. I agree. Crypto Eddie, one of the best out there. What you do isn't easy and demands admiration and respect. So just back to this whole thing. Bitcoin being an ISO 20022 compliant cryptocurrency. And so to give you guys a sense of how that's going to work, for those looking for a bit more information regarding the announcement today of Bitcoin and ISO 20022, please see below from the report Compliments of Utility Theory, who does a great job of breaking down the process. So here is a flowchart that was just published yesterday, Bitcoin ISO 20022 financial messaging integration. So they're working with XDC collateral options for Impel's financial messaging. Impel is a messaging company, if I'm not mistaken, services for financial messaging. They're also working with a company called OneChain for the interoperability bridge. So with these two companies in conjunction, they are going to be able to, or rather you are going to be able to wrap BTC one-to-one for every Bitcoin you have. You can wrap it one-to-one collateral, send it over the XDC network, and that will make Bitcoin payments accessible in real time, fast, cheaply, quickly, for fractions of a cent, as it says here, transaction fees, and settles in only 2 seconds. And it is ISO 20022 compliant. So, we've talked a little bit about XRP being ISO 20022 compliant and Algorand and some other cryptocurrencies. And now Bitcoin, the renegade, the anarchist of cryptocurrency, is also an ISO 20022 compliant crypto. It doesn't seem to be quite in line with what the powers that be want us to have now, does it? Wall Street Silver here posted this, okay? Now, this is an interview clip with Catherine Austin Fitts, okay, from the Greater Reset. And this was from, if I'm not mistaken, it was from a few months ago. So she talks a little bit about the gold standard, abandoning gold, central bank digital currencies, and the control that some of these elites are wanting to have over the people of the world. And, so a lot of these concepts aren't new. I'm just going to let Catherine Austin Fitts describe it because she always does a great job of describing some of this stuff. Let me play you guys a little bit of this, and then we're going to talk about it.
Vaccine passports or digital ID wallets or whatever name they call it. In Italy, it's the green passport. We have new names, and they keep morphing them down to market it. If it snaps into place with an all-digital financial system, including CBDCs, they will convert our home, our car, and our communities into digital concentration camps. And I don't use that term lightly. At that moment, there will be no hope of building anything. We will have entered into a slavery system in which a handful of the most powerful people in the world can strip you and I of our assets, of our children, and control literally every aspect of our life, where we go, what we read, what we say, and what we eat. And of course, as you know, they're planting insects and synthetic food. We have 1, maybe 2 years to stop it. If we don't, most of what we're discussing here today will be moot. So we need to be designing local currencies, but not for our digital concentration camps. We need to make sure that doesn't happen.
So this idea of local currencies, of course, she's describing here a very dystopic view of the world in the future if the powers that be get their way. Having complete control over our finances, over our autonomy, over what we eat. If you guys notice, she mentioned eating insects and crickets. Is it any coincidence that a massive cricket processing facility came online in London, Ontario just about a month ago on July the 1st? Company hopes to produce 13 million kilograms of cricket protein annually, selling mostly to pet food market. Yeah, right. Somehow I don't buy that. Anyway, this is a huge facility in London, Ontario. Let me just remind you that, the population of Canada is not huge. It's only about 35 million people. So this facility, this was likely created to service the global need, or the incoming global need for cricket, insect protein in the future. At least this is how some people are reading into this. So anyway, Catherine Austin Fitts, explaining this idea of autonomy. We have to create our own local currencies. And, to me, this brings us back to this idea of Bitcoin now being ISO 20022 compliant. The big brains over there are finding a way for us to be able to spend our cryptocurrency, our Bitcoin in this case, the cryptocurrency that the Bank for International Settlements is against, that the ECB, the European Central Bank, is against. But now we have a way for it to fit into our system and, to be able to fight for another day. As Catherine Austin Fitts says, it's going to be about 1 to 2 years. Now, I believe this interview was from February of this year, so February 2022. So she's estimating 2023, 2024, we have to fight the great fight. And I almost feel like, this reaction, the Bitcoin being ISO 20022 compatible, is a bit of a reaction to the powers that be that want to control everything with central bank digital currencies. And along those same lines, okay, I saw this too, BBC versus Bitcoin. This was a post that I was really quite surprised to see. Now, this member of parliament here, I guess it's Stephen Baker, Conservative, in Wycombe in the UK. He mentioned this. He made a statement back in November of 2014, okay? So likely before many of us were even in the crypto space. And listen to what he had to say even back then.
The problem is basically that government wants to spend too much money. It's always been the same throughout history. Governments used to want to fund wars. Now, for all good, moral, decent humanitarian reasons, we want to fund health, welfare and education well beyond what the public will pay in taxes. After 15 years of studying these matters and now having made it to the Treasury Committee, I'm ever more convinced that there is no way to change the present monetary order until the ideas behind it have been tested to destruction. And I do mean tested to destruction, and it's an extremely serious issue. But it will not change until it becomes apparent that the ideas behind the system are not tenable. We should welcome the Chancellor's recent interest in cryptocurrencies and making London a real centre of financial innovation. Imperfect and possibly doomed as it may be, Bitcoin shows us that peer-to-peer, non-state money is practical and effective. I've used it to buy an accessory for a camera, perfectly ordinary, legal product. It was easier to use than a credit card, and it showed me the price in pounds or any other currency I like. It is becoming possible for people to move away from state money. So what I would like to see is every obstacle to the creation of alternative currencies within the ordinary commercial law removed. We should expand the range of commodities and instruments related to those commodities which are treated like money, like gold. So exempt VAT and capital gains tax, and it should be possible to pay tax in those new monies. And we must not fall into the trap that the United States has fallen into of obstructing innovation. Finally, Mr. Speaker, we are in the midst of an unprecedented global experiment in monetary policy and debt. It is likely, as Philip Coggan set out, that this will result in a new global monetary order. Whether it will be for good or ill, I do not know. But as technology and debt advance, I am sure we should be ready for a transformation. Society has suffered too much already under the present monetary orthodoxy. Free enterprise should now be allowed to change it.
Wow. Even BBC versus Bitcoin here mentioned surprised that the BBC even allowed this to be aired. I do not disagree. So he was talking about a new world monetary order back in 2014. I mean, saying that the current system is doomed, it's not tenable. It becomes apparent that the ideas behind this system are not tenable, and that the system is going to collapse, and that we should, in fact, usher in cryptocurrencies, new monies, in order to facilitate payments, in order to hedge against inflation. Like I told you in a previous video, the dollars that I put into Bitcoin in 2017, well, those are 2017 dollars. They were worth a lot more than the dollars today. So the fact that Bitcoin has gone up 6x, now I've hedged against inflation. So if I were to purchase something today worth $6, I'm actually paying $1 for it, because that $1 that I put in 2017 is now worth $6. This at a time when, things are becoming increasingly expensive because of inflation, groceries, gas prices. He's talking about this peer-to-peer network, of course. The ISO 20022 standard for Bitcoin is now making this look like more of a reality than ever. Bitcoin transactions through the help of WanChain and Impel are going to be able to travel seamlessly over the XDC network at a fraction of the cost and a fraction of the settlement time. So is this how we hedge against the powers that be? The evil overlords that Catherine Austin Fitts seems to be describing here, the ones that want to control us with central bank digital currencies. Of course, guys, this goes against the XRP narrative, but like I've been saying since the beginning, this is a double-edged sword. The powers that be love DLT technology, love RippleNet, XRP, for all the purposes that they want to utilize it for. But even if they don't succeed, Ripple and XRP are going to be part of a new financial system, perhaps alongside with more mainstream Bitcoin payments. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.